you have to realize that we're all just a mouse that a cat has by the tail.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is Monday, September 15th, 2008.
And what's up, all of those that woe to? This is Jay Scott.
This is Trey Lackey.
And you're listening to World of the Unexplained. Once again, we bring you all sorts of news from across the world, weird and intriguing. And tonight,
Or intriguing and weird.
And tonight, we have with us the compiler and editor of the Templar papers, Mr. Oddvar Olsen. And just to give you a little background, he co-founded a book or a magazine, called The Temple in 2002, and he's edited and published 8 issues of that, very successful publications. He's also written several articles for magazines in the UK and abroad. And in 2005, he hosted the Temple Conferences, which was a series of lectures focused on the Templar legacy. So without further ado, Mr. Oddvar Olsen. How are you, Oddvar?
James, hello, and thank you for having me.
Oh, well, this is Jay, but thank you.
It's okay.
Now, Oddvar, that is a name that I associate with, unfortunately, a book written, Odd Thomas. Are you familiar with that? It's American horror writer, Dean Koontz. It's one of his main characters. They call him Odd Thomas. That's his first name, Oddvar. And I saw the name. I was like, oh, that's a cool name.
I think I missed it so far. Perhaps I should look it out, or...
I'm sorry?
I haven't... I'm not aware of it.
I was just wondering what historical significance, what part of what region your name came from.
It sort of originated from up in Scandinavia.
Okay. That's I think that's what Trent was thinking. Well, tell us about your Temple magazine that you published back in 2002.
Yes, we started it to bring various viewpoints, particularly on the Templars, together, not only on the history from 1118 or so to the dissolution in 1307. So we have tried to go back to early Christianity and some articles before, and going up to Freemasonry and the mysteries that sort of surround us for today.
Now, I noticed that there's a couple different dates given by different authors, and historically, as to when the Templar or the Knights Templar was actually founded.
Yeah, and to be honest, we are not quite sure yet.
Okay.
The most recognized historical date are 1117 or 1118. And that refers to the Jewish historian William of Tyre. However, there seems to have been there's some letters written to the Templar order that goes back to 1120. What seems to confuse people is that it has been stated that the Templars didn't take, if you can go back to the founding, it was Hugh the Pagan with another 8 knights, and they didn't take any more people into the order for another 9 years. So some people suggest it was as early as 11 12 or 13, perhaps 11. Then again, some other historians, and it seems clear that Hugh the Pagan was a part of the First Crusade.
Sure.
In 1098. And obviously then he would have perhaps met some people that could have helped him with this.
Well, I noticed that, Godfrey and the Templar Knights, he is definitely one of the major crusaders. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Godfrey de Bouillon?
Yeah.
One of the Merovingian descendants on his mother's side. And it's he marched to Jerusalem, according to this, in 1099.
Yes, that's correct. It was the first crusade that the Christians tried to capture Jerusalem, which they felt as their own holy place.
Now, I noticed that there's a lot of talk in here about Holy Blood, Holy Grail, a book that was popularized by the new Dan Brown film and book, which I can't remember the name of right now.
Da Vinci Code.
Thank you, Da Vinci Code. And I know you made a lot of there's a lot of references to that in regard to the Mount Sinai excavations.
There aren't that many references in the Templar papers or really in the temple, either to the Da Vinci Code. Everything has been published previously. As we know, Dan Brown used the Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and also work by people like Tim Wallace Murphy and also Lynn Picknett. The bloodline, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what I think of. Well, I think the bloodline is quite irrelevant. No, it's not irrelevant in history. It has a valid points, as there has, of course, been a few very important families throughout history that keep various stories and traditions alive. Whether I personally don't believe that we can trace the Templars or Jesus up till Rosslyn Chapel.
Now, you do speak of some interesting things here that you don't speak of them, but you compiled them from one of Yuri's Ladies of the Grail chapters of the book, where it talks about a possibility of two Salomes, and as well as a possibility of all these the three Marys. I thought that was just very interesting and very controversial stuff. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that?
What I think Yuri has done beautifully is particularly with the bloodline, which is perhaps stepping a bit further, and showing where the name, the word Grail comes from, and how the people in Lincoln and Beijing and of course, Richard Lee, which sadly died, but perhaps how they have misunderstood the translation of Grail, which in their work become Sankral. So I think we need to trace the various terms, and as I talk about the Sankral, we need to go back to the origin of the words to understand where how they came to this bloodline theory. Of course, today it is very much supported by families, perhaps like the Sinclairs. I believe the royal family as well claim some sort of descendants, back to Jesus. I guess most royal dynasties claim some sort of descent back to some sort of to Jesus or some other great god.
Mm. Now I noticed that one of the exciting things in your book here was a clip from Terrence Wilson, where he talked about in 1971 he moved to please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Kelvedon, Essex, England.
Yes. And
he purchased an old brick faced terrace house on High Street, and found when he was going through, obviously there was a sign there that was a plaque, reading Knights Templars Terrace 1861. But when he did go through the house and remove some of the flooring and the beams, he found out a writing, an old piece of rolled up parchment that was all in Latin script from the 12th century.
Yes, which isn't. I wish we found more of 12th century texts.
But it was just interesting that it was a transcription from the first book of Maccabees.
Why do you think so?
Sir?
Why do you think so?
That's what it says here. It's a transcription from the first book of Maccabees, chapter 7.
Oh, yes, but why do you find that particularly interesting?
I just find it interesting that it would be hidden, tucked away in the wall of the building.
Yes, it's similar to the panel painting at Temple Coombe, where they found this head.
Huh.
Painted on a few wooden boards put together. That was also sort of tucked away, hidden. That was discovered in the 1940s? Can't remember now. By pure accident, and that seems to date from between 1260 and 1280. The depiction is of a head. Some people say it is a depicted head, which I'm not quite sure about yet, but it's certainly just a head. It's got long hair, quite wide, staring, big eyes. So yes, there has been a few things found from the 12th century.
So now, why do you think that the Templars were supposedly eradicated in the 14th century?
I think it was for many different reasons. I think it was because of the great power and respect that they have accumulated in a very short period of time, really, 200 years. I think that perhaps the King of France was particularly jealous due to their wealth, which is sort of a little bit of a difficult subject because they were having a lot of possessions, and they sort of, when they finally Inquisition took over, they didn't find terribly much at all. However, it seems like Philip the Fair wanted to apply to become a Templar, and the Templars refused him. Perhaps that could have been a reason too.
Well, Oddvar, we're going to have to take a short break. If you'll hang tight with us, you're listening to World of the Unexplained. Tonight our guest is Oddvar Olsen, and the Templar Papers, his website can be viewed at www.templebooklet.co.uk/publishing HTM. And we'll be right back with Oddvar Olsen. You're listening to World of the Unexplained.
And we're back, World of the Unexplained. We got Oddvar Olsen on tonight, author of the Templar Papers, Ancient Mysteries, Secret Societies, and the Holy Grail. Now, this is kind of an interesting segue, but I was watching Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail this weekend. But that's another question later on in the interview. Let's about
It's a wonderful film, isn't it?
Huh?
It's much better than the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, actually, yeah, and but that's a
historical correct too.
Yeah, actually it is. But I was going to save that question until later on. But we were kind of jumping around a little bit. We need to just start at the beginning. Okay, first of all, the Templars, their date of formation is kind of in question. But what exactly was their purpose for formation? What were their main objectives as, okay, we are the Templars, what are we going to do? What did they want to do?
Yet again, I think that's in question too. The sort of official story goes that they went there to ask the King of Jerusalem if they could protect the pilgrim routes, which has been harassed by the Saracens and the Muslims for many hundred years. There are some stories that they were doing some excavations under Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Where is that?
That is what we are calling the Holy Sepulchre today.
Oh, okay. All right.
There were done some excavations, I think it was in 1867, by a Scottish chap called Warren.
Mm-hmm.
he didn't find many treasures. He did find a Templar spur and a lance and a couple of things suggesting that the Templars had been digging there.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a shaft that's going 70 or 80 feet down, which suggests that they perhaps have been doing some serious excavations. But I shall be honest to all of us. We know all of these things. Obviously, we don't know. There aren't any real recordings or any excavations between or before 1867.
Mm-hmm.
But you can take it as suggestive if you like.
Right. Now, okay, so the official story is they're the what's a word? Bodyguards, I guess, to get the pilgrims to the Holy Land. Now, why wouldn't they, for example, ask, I don't know, the Eastern Roman Empire? I mean, they were a major Christian empire up there in Constantinople at the time of the Crusades. Why didn't they? Did they ask? Hey, because Constantinople had their armies and navies and fairly major power. Why didn't the Templars want to steer clear of those guys for religious reasons or what?
It was the Templars that went to Jerusalem asking to King Baldwin if they could reside at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and then in return they would keep the pilgrims' route safe.
Mm-hmm.
No, they weren't any sort of particular Catholic or religious force doing such a thing. The Knights Hospitallers has been there since pretty much from the First Crusade, but they were, well, as a hospice, they were caring for their sick and the people that have been obviously hurt in battle or just. So no, there weren't any religious force protecting any of the pilgrims, really. However, there were only 9, allegedly, so how much these 9 Templars could protect pilgrim routes is obviously disputable.
Okay. Now, what were their relationships? Obviously, I have to assume the relationships with the Saracens or the Muslims were pretty bad at best. But were there any moments where the Muslims just left them alone on these pilgrimage routes, or was it pretty much constant attacks on the pilgrims? How are the Muslims reacting to the Templars and their actions here?
In my research, after the First Crusade and conquest of Jerusalem in 1098, you said 1099, but around that area, the Muslims seems to actually be much more honorable and peaceful. But obviously, when they were going to war, they were also just general, robbers. So we shouldn't think the protection was only or purely for against the Muslims. It was the pilgrim routes extended from Jerusalem to places like Rosslyn Chapel, and also to Glastonbury, and also to Compostela, Santiago in Spain. So the pilgrimage routes were much more extensive. Yes, and I think that they were probably not only the Muslims that was trying to make the best of lucrative business.
That's true. Now, these pilgrimage routes were, as you just said, were really extensive. That's to say, the Templars, I guess, going along the same thought, bodyguards of the pilgrims, that means their sphere of influence must have been pretty broad indeed, because, as you said, from Spain to Glastonbury, all over Europe, and then to the Holy Land. So there would have to be Templar organizations pretty much everywhere along those routes. Would I be wrong in saying that?
Yes, quite early, from pretty much 1130, particularly 1140, the Templars are being given loads of land and holdings, a lot of money. So certainly from them, from that time, they have posed along the pilgrim routes throughout most of Europe, and obviously they had some, fantastic and big and very strong castles which they needed along those routes too.
Okay, we're going to fast forward, I guess, a little bit from that point. Okay, they have the pilgrimages, they get the tracts of land, and they protect the routes. In the beginning, versus up to, let's just take up to the point where they were, all supposedly destroyed for heresy and whatever reasons. We'll try to get into that in a second. But was there any particular difference in like from what you gather, of the Templar who initially was in the beginning days of the order versus the Templar who was living in the time of that final major assault on their organization? Were they pretty much the warrior monks all the way through, or was there a certain point where they began to become more corrupted with power, or I don't know, just losing the ideals of the original society?
Well, first of all, they were never monks at all.
Okay.
Monks are a part of a religious foundation. They are stationary in their monastery. So why people are calling them monks, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
To be honest, I think a lot more research needs to be done. What can clearly be seen is by the fall of Acre, which was one of the stronghold, or the last stronghold in the Holy Land, as it were. Mm-hmm. In the late 1280s, nothing at all. They didn't do anything. Why? Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I say because some people always claim they found the Ark of the Covenant, or the Holy Grail, and a lot of secret scrolls, and so many different treasures. So why should you? So there is a lot of more research to be done. However, they kept it going for a couple hundred years, and for the last sort of 20 or 30 years, and by the time, by the dissolution of the Templars, there were no riches to be found at all, here in England in particular. Mm-hmm. There were 2 or 3 knights and a couple of chaps farming the land. Suddenly it doesn't seem like that's an interesting story. It's quite sad, really.
Yeah, it does seem to they decline. Do we have a caller? Yeah. Okay. We're going to stop there for a second. We have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Okay, we have Ron from Raleigh.
Guys.
Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine tonight. How are you doing?
Okay.
The question was, I know you went over a little bit about what the Templars did, but I've seen on the History Channel some of the castles that the Templars and the Hospitallers, I think, built, and also in describing Europe. What kind of praying did they do per day? And if you can, or if you've researched it at all, what type of praying were they doing? Do you know any of the songs that they used to sing or anything like that?
I'm sorry. It's a very faint line, so if you could repeat it.
He's asking what kind of religious rituals did the Templars do in their day-to-day lives? What kind of prayers did they pray? Songs, if any, did they sing? As being part of the Order of the Templars.
They had to do the Paternoster, the All Fathers prayer, depending on where they were, but pretty much from 6 to 8 to 16 times a day, I believe, which would always be terribly hard to practice whilst you are in battle.
How many times was it again, Oddvar?
I think it's up to 16 at certain days.
Oh, okay. 16.
Wow.
Yeah. that's a lot of praying.
That's obviously according to the rule of the Templars.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that was a uniform rule. Like I think earlier they were asking what might be the daily life of a Templar during the early period where they were going into Holy Land and trying to conquer the cities in the name of Christendom to preserve the pathways of the pilgrims. And then how had it changed after the Crusades had ended in the later days, I think? That was after the last Crusades, right? When the Templars were expelled from the kingdom that they were guarding?
For me, it seems like the Crusades are still going on, but that may be another program.
I don't think that's the Templars, man. That's the U.S. military. But they're not crusading either. I would have to disagree 100%. I think they're there. It's a military response to something, and that.
Okay, yeah, that's not really the sum and scope of Oddvar's right. That's another program, So yeah, what's the day-to-day? Ron's asking what the day-to-day life is of the Templar when they're taking these cities in the name of Christendom, versus at the end of the when Acre. I think I pronounced that right.
Mm-hmm.
ACRE.
CRE, yeah.
Yeah, okay. After that last bastion had fallen, how their daily lives changed? Did they still pray those 16 times, or was there an evolution in their life before they were attacking, and now they're holding those locations, and then eventually they lost those locations? Were they pretty much?
Well, obviously, from the very first day, if they were just protected the pilgrims' routes.
Okay.
Maybe if you have one day that you need to stay on guard and protect your brothers and sisters, and that's coming there, you haven't got the time to pray all the times anyway.
That's true.
It takes a lot of discipline to pray that many times a day. That's a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
It's stated, and there's a wonderful translation which is available, I believe, but I know it's available in the States. Who did the translation? I can't remember. But just look for the rule of the Templars, and everything is set out there.
Okay. Do you have anything else for us, Ron?
Yeah, well, there's like the hidden question is, are the Templars still around, or do you think the order was had changed form or decided not to pursue its goals and try to do something else? I mean, I know that was pretty well covered in the whole text of the thing, but is there anything that people should be thinking about for the Templars today? Like, what kind of lessons did they learn, or do you know a Templar story, like a story that would have come from that age that you could give an example of how they lived?
Yet again, I'm terribly sorry, but the line is just too bad.
Okay.
So if you could you repeat that, please?
Well, yeah, it was do you know any stories of from the Templar period that would give a description of how life was back then? Like any actual historical things that would have been recounted? I know a lot of tales of the Crusades are recorded in Muslim countries, and they still recite them to this day, and how life was back then is part of the tale.
Yeah, Ron, we're definitely losing your call. I'm sorry.
Okay, man.
It was. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
Okay, well, I'll try to get that question answered. But thanks a lot, Ron.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
Later.
I'm sorry about that. What he was asking, he wanted to know if there was the story of the Crusades is pretty well documented in a number of sources. What he was asking was for a story relating particularly to the Templars that maybe we could, an interesting story of their, a particular Templar during his day-to-day life, I guess, and what we could learn from it. I believe that was his question.
Ooh, they're now becoming like the Vatican. I don't want to be a preacher. I think most people at that time, they were they dedicated their life to God, to the Christian gods, as transcribed in the Bible. Most people at that time were obviously terribly illiterate. You had to join a monastery or be a part of a royal court to be thought anything. So most people couldn't read.
Okay, of course.
Obviously, there were loads of various offsprings of Christianity, pagan religions. I think most of the people just lived by the land and try to be able to survive to the next day. It's not a terribly romantic period, apart from the ideals of the Templars, which is terribly romantic.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, what's that? Okay. I forgot what I was gonna go after that part. Let's. Okay. We. I'm sorry. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Let's see. Okay, where is the best place to get your book? We haven't talked about that yet. Where can people find this book, The Templar Papers?
It should be out in most bookstores in the States. It should be out in most bookstores in Europe, and it's been translated into 8 or 10 or whatever languages it is. And if people get stuck there, they can just drop us a line to, on our website. Our website is the templebooklet.co.uk. So it should be available for any bookshop.
Okay. That's excellent. And it seems like a really informative book, but unfortunately I have to say we've run out of time for tonight. We appreciate you being on and staying on this late, Oddvar.
Thank you very much.
It was an excellent interview. Thank you for
Thanks for coming on the show.
And for you guys out there who want to buy this book, it's Oddvar Olsen, Oddvar Olsen, The Templar Papers, Ancient Mysteries, Secret Societies, and the Holy Grail. And you can check out their website at www.thetemplepbooklet.co.uk. Oddvar, thank you so much for staying up this late and talking with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
And that was Oddvar Olsen. We're going to be back. We're going to take a short break and bring back some more goody stuff. You're listening to World of the Unexplained. We'll see you in a minute. And we're back on World of the Unexplained. It's Jay Scott.
I'm Trent Lackey.
And we've decided that we're going to form our own Templar Society here, the Wotu Templars Club. You can join by sending us a self-addressed stamped envelope with your $5.
SASE.
Yes, with your $5 check payable to me. No, I'm kidding. Send you a membership card, little certificate we print out.
That you got from Office Depot.
Yeah, a little gold stamp I get from Office Depot. Yeah, it'll be cool. $5, man. You can't beat it.
What are they going to get for being...
That's it. They're going to get a membership card we print out and a little certificate we print out with a gold seal.
Are we going to
They
go...
have top choice.
Wotu books,
Yeah, that's right.
True. Quite a collection we have now.
I'm kidding about the Templar Club.
Are we?
If you want to send us $5, you can, but
we can just call it Send Wotu $5.
What are you going to use it for? Our own personal gain.
The station needs money.
Well,
Station always
true.
needs money. Yeah.
We're just kidding about that, gold bars. And Chuck isn't here tonight, so he can't even count
Chuck
the gold,
Chuck is
cold
sick
bars.
tonight. So
He has the cold bars.
He does.
Thanks again for Oddvar Olsen staying up that late for the interview.
Would have kept him on the whole time, but
our phone lines just...
we could hear him, but he couldn't hear us. He was having a lot of trouble hearing us and the people calling in. So, and it was very, very late in the morning there. Early in the morning.
But thanks again to him for doing that. Check out his book. It's really an interesting read.
Lots of good stuff.
We did, because that was a whole question. I mean, because I guess I should have asked it about Monty Python, and then there's this game, Assassin's Creed, that involves the Templars, and all sorts of things like that. D messing with equipment, but that's what D does.
And my wife wants me to buy a Wii.
Why?
She wants one.
Why?
She wants one.
Okay.
So you guys can play tennis in the living room?
I think so. I think she wants to.
Why don't you guys just play tennis outside?
I don't know, man.
On the tennis courts.
Look, I don't know these things.
You know?
I'm just.
Did you see Scott on the tennis court then?
Actually, I have seen Scott on the tennis court.
I've seen Trent on the tennis court too.
Pretty impressive.
It's pretty embarrassing for both of us.
Yeah. Usually it was like, oh man, why'd you have to hit the ball outside the fence? Because that's pretty much all I did. I didn't understand the concept of this.
You're looking up in the air like you're trying to follow a plane.
Fuzzy yellow ball, and I just like hit it.
Trent, it's supposed to bounce.
It would disappear. I don't even know how many balls we lost like that, but every time it's like pow, and then there it goes.
Well, I got the perfect sport for you then.
Okay.
What's that?
We'll get you guys to play racquetball because then you can hit it and you won't lose the ball.
Yeah, it'll just bounce back and smack you in the head.
Doesn't it damage people? Isn't that a really dangerous game?
It would be if you played it, man. As hard as you hit stuff. Boom!
Ow! Oh, you broke my jaw.
No, you broke your own jaw. That's even worse. The masochist favorite game, racquetball.
Oh. So what kind of crusade are we going to have? We need to have a crusade.
Yeah. I don't know.
Come on, man. Mr. Crusader. You're more of a crusader than I am.
That's true.
Because you spout your opinions about everybody else in the world more than I do.
I don't know. You should let them out sometime, man.
I should.
You shouldn't keep it all bottled up inside. No, let it out. Just let it flow like Ron Mexico.
Flows like glow of phosphorus. Rocking this metropolis.
That's right.
Am I a water-dwelling mammal?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that preposterous hypothesis?
Exactly.
Did Steve tell you that by chance?
You're quoting us.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. That probably needs to be edited out.
No, that's fine. Just have to give due credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I didn't come up with those awesome rap lyrics. That was the hip hopopotamus, otherwise known as Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. But I think it's pretty fun.
I heard those guys tour.
Do they really?
That's what I've heard.
We should get them on the show. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would actually be pretty awesome.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
it'd be very awesome.
I think we should.
Has nothing to do with paranormal stuff, but I mean,
it would be fun though.
Oh yeah.
But this is World of the Unexplained.
Well, they come from New Zealand. New Zealand's part of the world.
The New Zealanders, they're unexplainable, man.
It seems like it from the show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I brought that up, but Steve. I think it was the Steve thing. I wonder if they're talking about. There's only one Steve that I know of that's real famous.
Well, Steven Tyler.
No, Steve, not Steven.
No.
He doesn't go by Steve, does he?
No, I guess to his friends, maybe. I don't know.
You think so? Stevie?
Yeah, we'll just call him
Speaking
up Steve.
of calling, you know what? And this is kind of paranormal. I remember on a bumper sticker and the bumper sticker said, are you part of a vast right-wing conspiracy?
And I said, yes.
Let me know. And there was a telephone number underneath the bumper sticker.
Oh, all right.
Now, I managed to keep that telephone number on my cell phone.
It?
No, I haven't.
You still have it?
Mm-hmm. I do.
What does it spell?
Oh, let's see. Well, I mean, you need to keep on talking here, because I mean, it's hard for me to talk while I'm trying to spell things out of numbers.
Oh, come on. It's more fun that way, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't really say the number out loud. We should call it. We should call it right now. Let's see what happens. It doesn't seem to spell any. I don't think it spells anything, actually. No, there's two numbers in here that form consonants, followed by. I don't see anything that this number might spell.
It's the NRA number.
No, it wasn't NRA. It was just a bizarre phone number that I kept on my cell phone. I don't know if we should call them, though, because they might be... I listed it down as crazy, and that's exactly what they might be. Maybe... Do we still have payphones here in Kernersville?
We've got one that I know of. It's right outside of the King's Inn. Yeah, you know where I'm talking about.
I do. I didn't even... Is that place still open?
Yeah, and it's actually one of the walk-in telephone booths, with the door and everything.
No kidding.
Like the full-size deal, yeah. Walk in and shut the door behind you.
I think that would have been pretty awesome. How far away is that from here?
Oh, about 5 miles, maybe.
See? Now, that would be a neat idea. I could call Wotu and go over to that payphone and call this number, and I could...
And let us know. Go ahead, man. We'll wait on you.
I don't know how to get,
I'll give you directions.
I think I know how to get there from here, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there at this time of night.
Well,
yeah, but Trent's a big guy.
That's true. They won't mess with you.
Nah.
They might think you're like a local King's Inn, client.
Scott, we're knocking the King's Inn. What do the people of the King's Inn think?
I don't care.
They might. Okay, I guess we'll just say if you're ever in Kernersville, don't go to the King's Inn. It's kind of skeefo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's a word, but I just...
No, they get what you're saying.
Skeefo.
It's just kind of...
it's a little bit shady.
It's worn down. It's you know...
It might have one time seen better days.
Yeah, well, you know, before they filled the pool in.
They filled in the pool?
Yeah, because there's like trees and stuff growing out of it now. At least that's the way it looks from the roadside. I haven't gone up close to investigate it, but I believe that is the case. Yeah.
But wouldn't that be a fun little trip? I could just hop in the car and go over to that payphone and
like
call this
83,
number.
it was probably a really decent place.
Yeah.
Maybe even, you know, no, probably
90s.
Yeah.
And it
No, I'm
kind
thinking,
of to disrepair.
Yeah, probably. But in the 80s, I'm sure it was kicking.
It was acceptable in the 80s.
Yeah.
I got mad love for you if you were born in the 80s.
We're considering none of us.
I was going to say, yeah, we're good. You have no mad love for us.
Yeah, I haven't got no mad for love you guys because you weren't born in the 80s.
I hate myself for loving you. I guess I shouldn't tell him I'm never going to dance again. These guilty feet ain't got no rhythm, man.
Scott, I think I just had psychotic episode just now. I'm pretty sure about it because I started coughing so hard, and then all of a sudden my body started involuntarily twitching, and I think I got blacked out for a minute back here in the chair.
Your face is really, really red.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's something that you guys need to... Don't edit that out because
that's got to stay.
I'm pretty sure it was some kind of psychotic episode.
She's a maniac. Maniac. On the floor. And she's dancing like she never danced before.
Oh my gosh. You just go ahead. No, seriously, it was weird. It might be creepy. Because I just started twitching and I think I blacked out for a minute there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hate myself for loving you. I mean, where does that come from, man? From the 80s,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Is that a Joan Jett song? I'm not sure. Hate myself.
No, I don't know. It
for
just
loving
seemed really...
I don't know.
Oh. So should we call these guys or not?
No, we'll save it for another day.
We really should call them, though.
Okay.
But, I mean, not from a phone that we own.
Just call them from your cell phone. Let us know how that works out for you.
Yeah, man, but then they'll know my cell phone number, pal.
No, just dial that *67.
What's *67?
That blocks it. Makes it
Oh, well,
private.
I can do it right now.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, here we go.
Or you could wait till we go to break.
Yeah, let's wait till we go to break and call
Oh.
them. Yeah, it'd be good. We can report on what we've learned.
Okay, that
Any
sounds
other
good.
cheesy 80s song lyrics there?
Oh, there's plenty of them.
They're out there.
Yeah, I'm never gonna dance again. That's
I'm never gonna dance again as I walk like an Egyptian.
yes. That was.
That's not quite as...
It's not. No. These guilty feet ain't got no rhythm.
These guilty feet ain't got no rhythm.
Oh
What
me.
about Trent's favorite band, the Go-Go's?
The Go-Go's.
That's not my favorite band. Oh, I'm sorry. D was joking. I didn't
Yeah.
catch it. I just mind you, I just had a psychotic episode. Just a
It's
minute
okay.
ago,
Man.
so
It's fine, really.
seriously, I mean that was really crazy.
That was funny.
it really was crazy. I mean, because I just completely, I don't know what just happened. You know, I just leaned back in the chair,
Discombobulating, man.
and I didn't even know where I was for a minute. That was really strange. You know what it reminded me of? Like, I was at Food Line today, and I was walking along, and there's some kind of cheesy song from the '80s. I think it was I think it might have been
Uh-oh.
Now we're in trouble.
that chick that played drums, Sheila E.
Sheila E.
From I'm sorry, I couldn't remember her name, Sheila E. And it was playing, and I was walking down the condiments aisle, and I really just thought I was in some other planet because it just seemed so surreal all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
You ever get moments like that?
Sometimes.
No, you don't.
I don't know.
No.
But that's
Sometimes, yeah. No? Sometimes, yeah.
okay. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Do you really?
Yeah.
You want to share one with us? I was talking about Food Line and Sheila E.
Well,
just kind of walking along.
You know, you always get those wonderful feelings in the grocery store when you hear something being played that, you know, was popular at one point in time in the pop culture that you remember.
Uh-huh.
Well, speaking of which, did you know that the New Kids on the Block are now touring again?
They got the wrong stuff, man.
The wrong stuff. Oh!
Yeah, I can't believe they're on tour.
Yeah, they're old, too, man.
Well, yeah.
So would they be the new old kids on the block?
So they'd
They'd
be
the old kids on the block. Or the old men on the block.
I think it'd
that's
be
just
fun-
kind of creepy in and of itself.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, it is. Like,
Hey there, Sonny. Yeah.
Hey there. Hey there, blue pants.
like the old man from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey there. I got a shiny quarter in my pocket. You reach down there and grab it. Hey there, Muslims.
And you see where this show is degraded to.
Yeah, well, that apparently had a
Howard Stern's getting better stuff than we are right now. All right. Why can't we have strippers
do
on
we
the
have
show?
a
I'm
phone?
kidding.
Do we
Yeah,
have
we've got a caller. Who we got here?
Let's just.
Got me again.
Oh, hey, Ron.
RPH. What's going on, man?
Hey, I don't know who all do you know is going to the Halloween thing. Where is that again?
Halloween. Oh, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, where is that going to be? I mean, where is Sleepy Hollow? Is it like at a hotel or a meeting place or what?
No, it's in the town of Sleepy Hollow.
It's not code. It's not code word for some other place.
Yeah,
it actually is.
There's actually a real town.
And
You
actually,
got to ask these days. Be the Sleepy Hollow theme park for all I know.
Oh, yeah, it's true. But
No, it's
yeah,
actually the town of
in
Sleepy
Sleepy Hollow, New York. Yeah, it's about 20 miles away from New York City.
along the Hudson River.
There's only about 8,000, 9,000 people, I think.
I think it was 9,000.
Wait, so it's like a street festival with food and stuff?
No,
I'm not
it's
sure.
an actual town.
I mean, I'm sure they'll have a festival there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they have a
There'll be a parade, of course, but, you know, since it's the original town of, you know, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Trent will be marching in the gay pride parade with the Obama supporters. I had to do it.
I'll be dressed up like a nurse with black socks, like the Joker.
Yikes, man.
Yeah, it'll be fun. No, I'm
You
just
gotta carry
kidding.
a Bible, too.
And a gun.
I'm just messing around. But yeah, it's going to be in Sleepy Hollow, New York State.
It should be fun.
Do you have any cheesy 80s song lyrics that we could rip off? Because I guess that's where the theme of the show is starting to go.
Cheesy 80s song lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I should have a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But we're
you know.
we're kind of at a loss right now.
Another one bites the dust. Here we go. That one.
Let's-
Jay's the singer, man. I'm not going to slaughter it on the air.
Yeah.
yeah. What else you got?
That was like the first rap song that Queen did, I guess, and they got somehow popular before all the other rap artists. At least
Exactly.
one of the first ones.
Yeah, they were already pretty popular too, but then they had that. You know, it's true. It is.
Come
kinda
on,
like-
feel the noise.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I played with those guys.
You did.
They were jerks. Total
Yeah.
jerks, man.
Isn't that guy dead now? The lead singer, quite right.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Isn't he dead?
He didn't have no hair. He wore
So
a
you
wig.
How far
So
on
you
the
just
jerk
call them
scale
the-
were they, man?
How far what?
Were they out Spinal Tap wise or what?
What do you mean?
Quite right.
Quite right.
Like surreal, like with personality disorders, or were they just angry guys?
They were just angry. They seemed like they were angry guys to me. They were just real stuck up and, we're a quiet riot. And, but they were playing a club,
Yeah,
and,
they
like
used to
in front of
play-
like 2,000 people.
They used to play
Ooh.
stadiums, you know.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they're angry.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be angry too, I guess.
We're a rat.
Yeah, we're rat.
Yeah, you know what, Ron? I'm going to tell the story.
Round and round.
Yeah. One time in our teenage years, Scott in his piece of crap car was driving around, and one Friday night, we didn't have any money. We couldn't really go anywhere. You know,
What, 16, 17?
16, maybe, no girlfriends, basically like that. And then all of a sudden, Scott says, yeah, man, we're going to rock it out.
With
and
Rat.
And there was a tape of Rat.
Good old cassette tape.
I don't know if you're familiar with Rat, but...
Oh, yeah, of course he's familiar with Rat.
Yeah.
You know Rat, don't you, Ron?
Yeah, man. I've heard.
See, I told you, man.
Rat.
Rounds
Rat. I mean,
and
I
rounds.
couldn't even be It ain't even more pain than that. And then Scott played it over and over again. Played the song Round and Round over and over again as we drove around and around.
Song, man, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that. That was a terrible moment in my life. It really was.
Yeah, I think 16 was mainly like mason jar cigarette territory as far as I was concerned.
Mason jar cigarette
Interesting.
territory?
Nah.
Perhaps his most adventuresome. There was this
I got you.
movie, and it had it was unfortunately an X-rated movie, like on Saturday nights. So every once in a while, people would sneak down there and try to sneak up behind the screen, just the angle where you could barely see it.
Yeah, that's true. They did that with drive-in theaters for a while there. They started playing X-rated films there.
Really?
Yeah. It was a bizarre time, man.
I did not realize that.
Well, most of your drive-in theaters, they sank so low and nobody would come that eventually they started just showing...
Just playing the pornos.
They showed pornos, like real pornos.
Really?
Not softcore.
I did not know that.
No.
So what? People would come roll up their windows and just get the business?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what kind of people would go there.
That's right. I was trying to tune it in on Cinemax channel 21 through the bars.
Yeah, but that's not real. That's
at
not
13 or
anyway.
Whatever.
But I totally know what you're saying. There was one down in Lexington actually. At one point in time.
That is.
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't know that. I did not know about that.
Of all people.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Of all people, I would know.
You wouldn't know that.
I would know that.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
So what other kind of cheesy songs do you have?
Hang on.
No, man. That's pushing the boundaries of my sleaziness there anyway.
Okay.
I obviously have gone out into the deep, dark swamp of sleaziness.
Rob, we want you. We're going to take our last break. We want you to call us back right when we come back on, okay?
All right, man.
All right, we'll talk to you in just a second. You're listening to Woe 2.
Yeah. Woo!
Can't touch us.
Can't touch us. My music hits me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're listening to Woe 2. And no, we're not drinking moonshine out of those large containers of mason jars that Ron was so romantically talking about.
Days of yore, yes.
Yes, anyway.
Whatever.
It's something that always scared me as a child. And that was scarecrows.
Tell me your fears.
Is that your cell phone?
Was it?
Is that if that's that number calling back, dude, I'm gonna freak.
If he can find his phone.
He's digging for it. Hang on.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, we're okay.
We called that number during the break, and what? Tell everyone what you got.
Nothing. I couldn't really hear it because you're yapping your lip.
Well, it was my fault because
Really,
it's too loud.
I really can hear exactly what they're saying. Apparently, there's some organization, and they're open 7 to 4 Monday through Friday, and I can't really hear. I didn't get anything else. That was it. So I'm going to call it.
And we tried to
tomorrow.
call back a couple times, and
I didn't get anything.
Call them at 7.
I'll call it 7 in the morning.
Get up and be like,
Yes, I understand. I am part of a vast right-wing conspiracy.
I understand you're part of the vast right-wing conspiracy. Tell me more.
I want to join. How do I do that?
Tell me more.
I want to join. Did I just say join?
You said join.
Tell me about your fears, Scott.
Oh, no. As a
creeped you out.
the scarecrow, my grandpa used to always put one up, to keep things away from his garden. I'm sure you guys had similar
sure.
experiences. It's not just a Midwestern thing. It's a Southern thing as well, apparently. And I saw this movie. This is not last weekend, but the weekend. Well, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. It was on, I don't know, one of those cable channels. They were doing a lot of horror films all day, and they were all kind of cheesy horror films, but I watched them anyway because, you know me. I watched like 3 of them in a row.
Yeah.
One was like The Grave Dancers. Jeez, dude. Anyway, so they're on the middle of the day on like TBS or Sci-Fi or some channel like that. And one of them was about a scare. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was about the scarecrow. And basically, it was this preacher that had preached all this damnation and all this, and he took all the town underground, and to prepare for the rapture, and the rapture didn't show up.
Under the ground.
Yeah, like they had like this little building under the ground. Well, anyway, the rapture didn't show up, and then he comes out and he's like, well, the crops need to grow, and so I'm gonna sacrifice myself, and he had the townspeople crucify him. And a pretty grisly scene there.
With pitchforks?
No, they just crucified him with like stakes and on the cross and like hoisted him up.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so they said, all the towns got this problem, and so this like National Enquirer-esque, Weekly World News-esque kind of girl popping around trying to get a story, going to make one up. She's got like a scarecrow she's going to put up on a little cross and, to take a picture of to mess with people. She's out of the town and it comes to life and it starts killing everybody. It's kind of like this guy's like soul reinvigorates itself somehow.
And the scarecrow.
Yeah. But the whole thing was, it just really wasn't that. I'm sure if it were real, it'd have been probably scary if some scarecrow jumps off the little crow thing and starts coming at you. Mm-hmm. But just the idea itself is good. I thought it just didn't translate to film well.
I think, well, you know what? That's a good point because scarecrows.
Like the headless horseman on the motorcycle?
Oh, gosh.
No, that was just bad.
That was a horrible idea.
They've got that at Blockbuster now.
I don't even want to.
You can rent that. I was like, oh my Lord, it's awful.
Show time talking.
Well, no, we need to make people aware of this and how horrible it is so they don't rent it.
Yeah. What is it called?
I think it's called the Headless Horseman, but it's the one A&E. I think was it A&E that put it out last year?
Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was on a motorcycle.
Horrible.
Don't watch it.
Don't do it. It's bad.
No, but a scarecrow always fascinated me. I remember I dressed up as one for Halloween one time.
And that was pretty scary, though.
Yeah, I scared the crap out of people. You
scared me
because you didn't even.
I didn't know you were.
Who the hell? Who I was? I had this sack on my face. With like the little X's and like a.
Yeah, well, I was like, who in the heck is that tall, creepy, freaky dude?
And I just kind of.
I was like, he's as big as Trent.
And then I would sit there and sneak up behind people.
I know.
I would sit there like prancing, like I wasn't being like how in the world could I be silent? But I was just kind of like sneaking up behind.
Yeah, it was creepy. It reminds me of the time I wore those red jeans. It was bad.
Bad time for everyone.
It was. Yeah.
No, but if you really look at this thing,
even when the teachers gave me crap about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the teachers made me take off the hat when I was dressed up like a scarecrow. They wanted me to take the hood off, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll get detention. I spent way too much time, and then I went to work like that, dressed up like the scarecrow.
Where were you working at?
Winn-Dixie? Over Winn-Dixie. Yeah, those little kids. Oh my gosh, it was terrifying. I'd bag their groceries and I'd go like I try to play with them, and they would just start crying everywhere, left and right. Kids would not get within 10 feet of me, and I just kind of slip around. And then I was like, okay, well, I can't be the funny scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. I guess I'll be the creepy scarecrow that terrifies kids. And one of those kids one day will probably remember that from years to come. I'm
just getting bent now. I'm getting bent now about high school, about the teachers that gave me a hard time.
Oh yeah, that's messed up.
Like Mr. P. That's all we're going to say. We're not going to tell his whole name on the air, but he was a chemistry teacher.
Made fun of your red pants?
No, he didn't make fun of my red pants. He told me that I was going to have a name on my shirt when I grew up.
That's messed up.
That's a job I was going to have.
That's not encouraging.
Yeah, you know what the name on my shirt says? It says "Make more money than you." That's what it says. Yeah. The name tag on my shirt says "Lawyer, Jerk."
Does it say lawyer and jerk?
Yeah.
Say,
well, it depends on if you're on the other side. But no, you know what I mean. It just that's uncalled for. You don't crush kids like that in 9th and 10th grade or whatever.
If I saw someone dressed up like a scarecrow in my class, I'd be like, "That's awesome.
That's cool.
You spent a lot of work on that. More power to you. Please don't be disruptive. I got a class to run, but awesome."
No, it's different. It's different if you disrupt the class and you're obviously what I was doing. I was not disrupting anyone. I was sleeping.
Oh yeah, sleeping.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, because that's what you need to do in high school.
Yeah, you need.
I need to catch up on my sleep, man.
Especially during chemistry.
Chemistry class is the best time to catch up on your sleep because you don't know what's going on anyway. You're like, I don't know, man. Some chemicals here, some chemicals there. This math formula that really doesn't make any sense at all to the world or me. Yeah, go. And that's why I'm not a doctor. But, hey.
I don't think doctors really use a whole lot of chemistry.
What do you mean? Of course they do. They're testing stuff in the lab all the time.
They're not testing stuff in labs.
They are. They do it on house.
That's lab techs.
They do it on house, man, on the show.
Yeah.
That's real life, man.
Yeah, okay, sure, Scott.
Don't bust my reality, man. Right. House is real.
No, but anyway, that whole scarecrow thing, in a lot of ways, it's a modified myth of the golem, because the golem is this construct, this inanimate thing.
That's a concrete thing, right?
Well, it's
iron.
Well, a golem, the original golem is made out of clay, and it serves as a servant to help people with crops, but eventually it develops its own personality, and then it kills people, And
so it helps you at first, and it kills you later.
Yeah, because it doesn't like to be your servant, basically. It wants to be its own thing, and it's like...
I just say, hey, man, go on.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But it's like... Basically, it gets possessed with an evil spirit, and the spirit pretends to be your friend at first, but in fact, it has its own agenda in the world, and so, it will kill you. And the scarecrow is the same principle. It's an inanimate humanoid shape, right? But it gets possessed by some wicked spirit that animates the body. It's a pretty common myth, actually, and there's a Scandinavian myth that I just read the other day about that, about a kind of a scarecrowish like creature. I can't remember what it was called. Krillin or something.
Kringle.
No.
Yeah, Santa Claus.
No.
He's evil, man. Ask one of our guests.
Oh, that's right.
Lights him up at Christmas every year.
Messed up, man. Santa.
Pastor Harry.
But yeah, that's.
We need to get him back.
It's been a while.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
I wonder if he's still doing his Apocalypse Radio thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really leave this room ever.
Yeah, we just pack him up in the
Ron Paul Hunter, where are you, man?
Yeah, that's true.
We got like 12 minutes. Call.
We're just talking about golems and scarecrows and high school teachers and how unfair they are. And they really are. You know, they're supposed to encourage kids to get out there and do stuff, not to insult them.
Well, that's what he did. I mean, not only him, but others that insulted me.
You know, that's messed up. You need to encourage.
Excuse me. It's not like I hold any grudges or anything. I really don't. No, I don't. I hold no grudge at all.
Okay, yeah. What was that spiel a second ago?
My
name tag says lawyer. Jerk.
That's right. That's exactly what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name tag I wear on my shirt.
Oh, there he is.
I think that's him. Go ahead and punch it through.
That's just.
Ron, is that you?
Hey, it's me, dude.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So tell us about, did you have any problems in high school with any teachers in particular?
No, not really, man.
Ron was the good boy.
I mean, I was in the gifted and talented program, so I went to a class with a bunch of other people, and we studied things. You know, and I was terrible at English. I still, for some reason, can't spell.
I can't do math still to this day.
Yeah, people always have their little quirks that are just unique to them, you know.
I can't do math or English.
Oh.
You know what that means, D? You're going to have a shirt with your name on it.
What were we, what were we talking about before the break? I can't even remember now. See?
Life's not always like that, though.
What's that?
You know, the things I remember about high school were that people tried to promote education if people had some kind of thing that they thought they were good at. And I was pretty good at history, or so they thought. So, you know, I would study that and try to study it as much as possible in my spare time. And a lot of people would do that. And there were also programs for people with music and obviously athletics, too. So I think it was a good attempt at the county I grew up in, which was Scotland County, to just be a pretty comprehensive, you know, it was a kind of county where everybody in the county went to the same high school. So they wanted to make a comprehensive environment where you could kind of expand as much knowledge as you could.
Scotland County's pretty small, isn't it?
Scotland County?
It's small now.
Yeah.
I think the main town is Laurinburg, and it's over 100,000 now. And
Wow.
the smaller towns are filling up. There's a lot of things that are being built out in the areas around there. And, of course, it's 40 miles, 50 miles away from Fayetteville. So,
Well, you know, I've got a big map in my office, Ron, where I put a pin in on every county that I go to, and I plan on, before I retire.
Communist Red, actually.
Communist Red, yeah, it is.
He actually had to get it. It was specifically said.
But no, I've been to 11 counties so far, and it's something that I just decided, you know what, I want to see every county in North Carolina. I want to, even if it's nothing more than a minor traffic infraction, I want to practice law in every county in the state before I die or before I retire.
that's going to be weird, traveling law, man. But, you know, I'm sure you could pull it off somehow.
It'll be like the old colonial days, you know, where
well,
they
I get calls every now and then from, you know, I'll get calls from every once in a while saying, do you handle New Hanover County? You know, it's Wilmington. I'll be like, well, if your court date's on a Friday, we can handle it. You know what I mean? So I don't mind going down to the beach for the weekend. But, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, man, if you're planning something like that out, are you guys planning on going to the state fair this year?
You know what? I've never been to the state fair in Raleigh.
I've never been to the state fair either.
I'd love to go.
The biggest agricultural fair, they say, in the nation, at least somebody's PR said that at one time, is the North Carolina State Fair with tons and tons of agriculture and livestock and just all kinds of things.
When's it start?
That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. I really don't care about the rides. I like the food and I like the agricultural farm exhibits and whatnot.
I like the food. No, I like the food. I like the games, and I like the agricultural stuff too. When is it, Ron? Do you have a date on that yet?
You know, I should look that up. And I'm sitting at a computer. I'll please up as the conversation progresses.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let us know, man. That might be something. Maybe we can meet up or something and check that out together.
Yeah, we should, man. You could technically do a broadcast from up there if you had the right equipment.
Oh man, that'd take a van load of stuff, man. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a handheld or something.
Well, that's true.
I mean, that's kind of what we thought about with a lot of this stuff and we're kind of trying to decide at this point what we're going to do with the whole Sleepy Hollow thing. If we're going to take anything, we want to broadcast live, but our portable kit is just tremendously stupid. I mean, it's not really very portable exactly. I mean, there's ways to do it, but the sound quality would suffer horribly.
Right. Here's from the website. State Fair in Raleigh, North Carolina is 30 days, 17 hours, 6 minutes, and 43 seconds away.
Wait, how many days?
30 days.
30 days.
That ain't bad, man. You know what? We should definitely make a trip up there, Ron.
Try to.
October 16th through 26th. That's kind of close to Sleepy Hollow Day, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is. We'll see.
You go early on. Most people try to bust in on the first couple of days. That's when the maximum crowd is. If you really want to have a good time, go wander around the crowd for a while.
Yeah, I hear that. So how many people they usually get out there?
Boy, I don't know. They try to maximize it each year, and they give estimates. I think they say like up to 100,000 people through there in a day. But a lot of times it's like people come up there and they have their families with them and they have small children. And so they go in just as long as the kids, until they get really tired, and the smaller the kid is, the quicker they get tired. So then they will get some food or whatever, and they'll usually take off and go home.
Well, we went to the Dixie Classic Fair. We go there every year, and Trent and his wife, and a little girl, and Dee and his wife, now little boy, but not at the time. Me and my wife. I don't think she was my wife at the time. Just a lot of not at the times. But anyway, we all went last year and had a great time. Chuck didn't show up, though. Man, Chuck never comes to these excursions with us.
He's
the loner, man. Yeah. He's the lone wolf, Chuck Browder.
The cool guy.
The lone teen wolf. It's
Didn't somebody hit Leanne in the head with a basketball?
Yeah.
Don't ever go to I never go to the fairs. I almost am thinking, like, I don't even want to go anymore on a Friday or Saturday night. I want to go in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you got to go in the
week.
daytime.
Because all the thugs come out,
Thugs come out at night.
That's how I feel about it anyway. I love the fair, but I really just can't stand all those.
Well, I don't know. I guess when we were thugs, man, we used to go at night when we were like teenagers. I mean, that was the best time to go.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that all day long, and you can say, well, back in the day, it wasn't. I think it probably was exactly the same. I really do. I believe it was the same. I think it was just our perception. What do you think, Ron?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of you guys have got a lot of motivation to really exercise your imaginations in certain areas, and doing writing and stuff, and that's cool. But your broadcast audience may not always feel that way.
Yeah, we don't care. We just tell them to call in.
I don't know, man.
Disagree, agree. We don't care. It's all open for thought and talk.
I don't know. Theater is something. I'd like to see people do more assemblies. Like public things sponsored by the government that would be fun to go to and would have cool things like actual theater being performed or all kinds of. If you do a civil defense program on a pretty large scale, you can build a lot of the fun stuff that was the top end of the high school end, and then kind of also the low end of the college end, where you get a lot of you could do things like a dinner theater or any number of things in conjunction with the community for people that wanted to participate in other things.
Well, Trent and I were thespians in high school.
We were actually. We were both in the same drama club.
And for 3 years, Trent played the lead role in A Christmas Carol. He was old Uncle Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. I was.
And I was the pawn shop.
The dirty pawn
guy, yeah. That was it.
Listen to this. You could do radio theater, too. You could do a special WOTU that was just you guys doing radio theater. And
that's actually a great... that's the best idea, Ron. That is honestly the best idea I've heard out of any of our listeners in a long, long time.
Maybe the Grand Ole Opry will like it.
Hey, man, no, seriously, that is a great idea.
No, that is, because one of the genius elements of radio is that old day where, you encourage the imagination.
Ron, that is an awesome idea.
Gifted and talented, dude.
I'm seriously, that is some good stuff. We're going to do that.
That's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be a ton of work, but we're going to do that this year. We'll do it for Christmas. We'll reenact part of the Christmas Carol or something. We'll do something fun.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards would be in full 2 hours, probably.
Oh, man, I don't know if we can put up with that.
Well, but the thing about it is we don't have to memorize our lines. We have them.
Is 2 hours too long? You guys should get a cast.
That's true.
True. But you know what? We had the lines with us. It's not as though we couldn't
cheat.
We could sit there and read the lines right off the script.
I don't think the lines is what's going to kill you. I think it's all the sound effects and all the other stuff. That's going to be the production, the post-production on that would be just insane.
Yeah. I think it's worth it, though.
That's worth a try, though, Ron. We're really going to do that. I don't know what we're going to do. You got any suggestions as to what we should do?
I don't know, man. If you could pick up an alternative story if that one was too tough. There's a lot of cool Christmas stories that you could do.
That's true.
Or something fairly simple that wouldn't be that hard to do either.
The Headless Horseman.
Story of Mary and Joseph in the manger.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea.
I'm playing Joseph, dude.
I'm sorry. I gotta play. You
gotta play Mary.
No, I'll play with some of the wise men. I'll play all of them. I'll just use slightly different.
It's just
accents.
different accents. Well, yes.
Oh, yes. You know, and that's what I'll do. That's a great idea, Ron. But we're gonna have to let you go because we're almost out of time.
Yeah,
hey, man.
I totally agree.
Thanks for the idea, Ron.
Yeah,
that's the best thing I've heard in a long time, though. Really.
God bless you guys. Take care of yourselves. I'm in my last 7 days of waiting to hear from the guys whether they're going to publish or not. So.
Okay. Good luck.
Let us know.
Next week.
Keep us on track with that. All right.
All right.
I will, man.
All right. We'll talk to you Wednesday.
State Fair, right?
Do what?
I said I'll see you at the State Fair, October 16th through 26th at Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right, man. We'll try to get there.
Right on.
Later, buddy.
Later.
That was Ron Paul Hunter from Raleigh.
Radio theater.
That is a great idea.
That's kind of what we've been doing anyway, because, the Dan Rather Chewbacca thing, It's not like we haven't done this before. It's just we've just been playing off the cuff,
We haven't really scripted it.
I think that'd be really cool.
That's a great idea.
We have to look into that.
I guess it's that time again, huh?
Well, that's...
Yeah. I was going to say, man, it's taking some time, but it's George W. Peace.
This is Trent Lackey. I had a psychotic episode, but I'm okay now.
It's ABC News. Dan Rather reporting.
Curtisville, North Carolina, a small town.
We talk about big things.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Yeah, the big ones. All right, D. Go ahead.
See you guys next week.
That's so lame.
That's fine.
There we go. Yeah.